Hello everyone and welcome back to day 83 of 100 Days of Code with me, Lily Code. We're continuing here with our React Front to Back 2022 course from Traversy, and we're doing routing at the moment, so let's get going. Awesome. That's a bit loud. My poor little eardrums. Cool. So, we are in a card component. What? We already got a card. Oh no, we're in our about page. We're just adding a card. Okay, so yes, here we are in our about page. Cool. And we're going to use our card to display this. So perfect. Let's change this to our card tag. We've created a card component in a previous video and we're going to use it, which just really puts a border and will make this component display like a card. So there's just some associated CSS and stuff that's coming with that. So we'll import card. Bam. Oh, I took a gamble there. The gamble was wrong. First one. Come on. Oh, for God's sake. I don't know what's going on. From shared. What? Here we go. Cool. Damn, you slow. Okay. So cool. My computer. So. Cool, so then we're going to add a div with the class of about here. So I'm going to use Emmet to do this for me, shortcut. So I just say dot and about, yep, about tab, bada bing, bada boom. And then we'll add a H1 in here and just say about. Not like that. And just add about here. So cool. So we're just setting up our about page here. That's all we're doing. And I'll add a paragraph as well and say this is a React app to add feedback about a product or service, because that's what we're creating right now. And then we want another paragraph, and we're just going to add the version here. So version 1.0.0, and then we'll also add a link. Cool. Grand. So in order to do the link for the time being, he's just after adding a regular old href. So a href, just a normal link here, and just 2 / but we will be implementing this with React Router very shortly. But for the time being, just going to follow along back to the home page, baby. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, my baby's gone. So save and let's check how we're getting on. So if we come back to our browser here, this ain't looking good, let me tell you. Reload. Oh no, we definitely have some errors soon as we can't see nothing. About page, is not defined. Okay, yes, because I just called it about. So in our app.js here, we must have imported the about page, so about instead. And then if we save, hopefully now, maybe there's another error, maybe there isn't, but this definitely was incorrect, because here I was referencing the component about page and that doesn't exist. So in our components here we just have about.jsx. That's the name of our function and that's what we've exported it as. So that's what you'll expect to import it as. So now we still have an error. Line 38, about is not defined. Did we import it into our app.js? It's another good question. So no we didn't. So cool. So let's say import about, yep, and save. And now let's see, and still doesn't like it. A root is only ever to be used as the child of roots, never rendered directly. Wrap your route in a routes. Index.tsx.line 19. let's just search for route and see where we have instances of this. Okay, so route needs to be wrapped in a routes. So that's fine. I'm just wondering, routes. Okay, so let's just, okay, so let's leave that the way it was. So about, cool, we've imported about, and then I'll come down here to these routes here. Let's wrap this in routes and just see. That is what it's telling us to do. I don't know whether I'm just really taking a guess here, which I am. But let's see, because the error still seems pretty self-explanatory, and if not, I'll go to the documentation obviously and just not be so flippant here. So I'll also wrap my second route in a routes, because, you know, why would we just do one of them? And this one shouldn't be a closing, it should be an opening, and then this should be tabbed in. So save, let's see. Routes is not defined, so we need to import that as well. Yes, okay, so these ones here are not being picked up properly because we have our own components in here. So the routes should just contain the route itself. What have I done wrong here? So I'm going to just go back and make sure I didn't miss anything, because so he imported browser router and route as we have done. I just added routes. Yeah, and he did surround our components in a route as well, like that. And just tabbed it in. So oh, sorry. I need to just type here for a minute. Route. Route element is not working. Right, so feedback form is not a route component. Feedback form okay, right, so let's just Google this error and see what's going on, because now it's time to have a look. So home is not a route of route. Yeah, this is the same error we have, and they just have home within a route, and they also have it wrapped in routes. So okay, you need to include the home component code, otherwise we would just be guessing. Have you tried surrounding the return fragment? Just like the error said. Yeah. So let's go back to our error here. Yes, it should be a React fragment. Okay. So let's wrap everything in a React fragment. Yes. All component children of routes must be a route or React fragment. So all the children, so that indicates to me that these should be where this is being wrapped in a fragment. So let's say, I feel like I'm just, oh yeah, okay, so let's just say fragment. Oh, let's just do an empty fragment. I could just import it, but I'm just not even sure if I'm on the right path here. Okay, let's just do it the React fragment way. And okay, let's just go and check out routing React.js and check the official docs first. Official docs. Okay. Routing. Let's just say route. Main concepts. Oh yeah, this is coming from React Router DOM, isn't it? So React Router DOM routing. Let's check out the official docs and how to handle, and let's also just search for the past month so we know what the most updated information is. Okay, gonna check the documentation here first of all. So getting started guide, tutorial introduction. Been here, done this, guys, you know. I've been here, done this. That's all fine. That's just the standard setup. We have our app.js wrapped in our browser router, I'm sure of it. Where does he have that? Where we're rendering the app. Oh, right, so browser router. Yes, should be wrapping this, I'm sure. That's necessary. Just let me search for that because I thought I did add that in. So browser router. Did I not add this somewhere? No. Okay, so first things first, you want to connect your app to the browser's URL, import browser router and render it around your whole app. Okay, let's try that. So browser router. Cool, it imported it first. I will just cut the closing tag, paste, save, and see if that helps. So now if I reload, React is not defined in app.js. Because yeah, I still didn't import this properly, but I just couldn't remember off the top of my head where does that import from. So I was just said, oh, let's move on. Because I still don't know whether that was like the cause hasn't clicked yet. You should never have. Right, so let's just get rid of our second set of routes to see if we can route a route, see if we can get, if we're on the right track here. So it was telling us that you can't have two different sets of routes, and I've one set of routes here and a second set of routes here. So I was using it twice, and it says we're only supposed to use it once, so okay. You cannot render a router inside another router. So there's a top level router, isn't there? Let me just check what he was at here again. Router. Oh, right. Okay, so let's just check exactly how this code should be. Looks like I did do something wrong here. So, but then it was telling us we need to wrap it in routes. So this should be router, and that should wrap everything. Okay, and then we have our header, our div, and then we have a route, and just another route. Yeah, then it tells us we need to wrap it in routes though. So let's save. Let's just see now what browser router imported and the code back to the way it was. You cannot render router inside another router. Now I only see one route though. So let's just make sure. Don't think this is going to be it, guys, but sometimes when I'm unsure, routes is defined but never used. So that's done now. So let's just cancel this, clear, and run it again to just have that mental clarity that it isn't something that's still hanging around, and still do some research in the meantime. So yeah, I was enjoying this post. So Tico has given the correct answer. What did Tico say? Yo, Tico. Ah. 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 Aha. Cool. So it looks like all I'm missing is I need to actually pass in the element. Well, that was just a bit of a guess, wasn't it? But the element, I need to pass the element instead. Well, here's component. So React Router DOM, let's check what version I'm on first of all. I guess it's the most recent one, but let's just check that. So 6.2.1 is our version. You can go to your package.json to see what versions you have installed of different packages. So we're on version 6. So upgrading from version 5, yes, upgrade to version 6. Upgrade all switch to routes, yes. We don't have switch, so that's okay. So this must be version 5, yeah, in v5, because I see the switch there. So okay, and then in version 6, element. Okay, yeah, so we need to use this element. So I'm going to just copy this. Do you know what? I'm not going to copy the browser router because our app is being injected inside there, so that should be okay. But if I come back to but you know what, why not just do it in the app.js, seeing as that's what the documentation is showing us. So let's stick with the layout we have here. I'm going to just copy this and implement it into my own page here now. So here's my app.js. Let's stick our return statement here. So we have our browser router, then we have our routes. So we want our header text inside of this, and our div of container. So I'll put them in here. No, let's keep it simple. Before we start adding everything back in, let's just try and get our routes going, because we're adding in too many variables. So if we can get this little bit working, then we know that that little bit is working at least, you know. So I'll just take all of this out. Sorry, I know this is a bit of messing around here. No, we'll just keep going. Sorry guys, this is the process, you know. Sometimes a home element, like, let's just not have a home element for now, because I don't have a specific component for that. And then let's try and do the about, because this is a simple one, because we actually have an about component and our element is going to be about. And you know what, for pig iron, let's keep the / in the start, which should just be matching all the roots after about, but let's not change too much for this moment right now. And then we'll go back to our feedback, reload. Browser router is not defined. Okay, that's fine, we just need to define it. So, and yeah, this should all be in. Okay, so now browser router, routes and route, browser router routes and route, yeah. Save, and it's telling me it's not defined. This is obviously coming in from React Router DOM. Let's just check out what Stack Overflow has to say about it. This is the wrong version though. But yeah, okay. So why am I getting this? Yeah, you imported it as router, so you should call it router as well. Damn, of course, yeah, I'm in browser router as, and these are the words that we're using. Yes, of course. So instead of this router, I'll import it as browser router, and then it will be able to find it. So the thing is, we were importing a specific thing, browser router, as, and renaming it to these other names, and I hadn't specified browser router as one of the named imports we were given it, so it didn't exist actually. So that makes sense. Okay, and now if I come back and reload, okay, so now let's comment this out for a minute. No roots matched home. Like, so if we were to just keep this same thing, this would be browser router. Browser router, yeah. Then we just have a div with a container, route, exact path. Can this be element? The element, you need to pass in an actual element. So like, in the absence of, like, do I say app? That makes sense. The app is my home. Or does it? We'll soon find out. And then component about, yeah, although it should be like this, sorry, element about. Let's see. Let's reload. Please up your route in a routes. So this is what we had earlier on, and I did do this and it did not like this, but maybe Now I know I still have another one, I'm just going incrementally here. Yeah, so let's get rid of this other one as well. Let's just wrap this in a routes too, because it needs to be. And then the feedback form, they're still giving errors because they are not, it's not a route, I'm calling a component. So now, okay, great, cool, we've made it somewhere, guys. We can see at least something on the page here. No routes matched our home location. Let's have a look at the changes. If it's a directory, why are you telling me that that's where my changes are rather than the file? Because I know it's a directory. So about, yeah, that's just our about. Grand. app.js. Right, so let's just keep following the documentation here because we were getting somewhere. So nothing changes in your app, but now we're ready to start messing with the URL. Link. Open up source app.js and import link and add some global navigation. Okay. So let's just see if a link to about is going to work. So in here, I'm going to add a link to about and call this about and just see what happens. And we need to import link from React router DOM and save and reload. Ooh, 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 ooh. Great. Okay. Cool. Awesome. I still don't know why this is telling me index.tsx25. No routes match this. So let's just Google this as well, because this is obviously something that has come up before. React Router DOM, here we go. I'm using React Router DOM version 6, yes, but it's giving me the error, yes. Cool. So let's just go down and see what people said. I think you want to wrap all your routes in one routes component. The first route has no child, but the second one does. Wrap the whole thing in one route and your error should go away. So we did have multiple routes because we've this one and that one. So instead, and this is not even linked, wrapped in a route. So okay, let's uncomment this for the moment and wrap everything in the same routes and link. Yes, okay, so back down here. This can go now because let's just miss it. We want to wrap everything in a routes. So there's a link. Let's just wrap everything in a routes. Then I'm going to get rid of the other routes declaration. So everything. So link. The div is outside. So cool. They're going to go in there somewhere. Like just to do this here. This can go. This can go. This can go. Save. This can go. Okay, so, and these can move back. No, just up. Okay, so now we have one wrapping routes that is not in line. Cool. Yes, okay. So now we have one wrapping route that's wrapping any of the routes that we're defining. So we have route, which we just have our 3 different components in there, which not sure if that's right. And then we also have a link to the path about and a link to about. So this should just be a route, and so should this, as far as I know. So let's save and go back here. Oh no. That made it worse. So, no routes match location. Undefined. Yeah, so this is still causing problems anyway. So I'll get rid of all of this because that's not working at the moment. Reload. All children. So this is not a route. Let's see. I need to stop and think for a moment. I'm being very jumpy all over the place, you know, and clearly it's not getting me anywhere. So let's just woosah and think for a moment as opposed to this. So go ahead and link the back and forward button if you're using Stackblitz. Open in a new window. Add some routes. Add a couple of new files. Okay, and how are we going to route to these files? Because it seems like they have changed the name. Oh, they just have a folder called routes. Yeah. Okay, so they're just some components, and then we are importing these components and we are routing to those components. So, and yeah, cool, his homepage route is just to the app component. So yeah, why would I link the app within the app? So I'm going to try this approach. So we have browser router routes and then our route. Browser router routes and then... So let's just move this down here because let's keep everything, no other tags within these tags. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want random tags around the place, and this is given out now because I need to wrap everything in a fragment because I don't anymore have a top level parent, I have a couple. So now if I paste that down there and I have my unassociated tags with the browser router out here, so then the browser router can start down here, and then I have my linked other tags got to do with React Router DOM nested inside because that's how the documentation seems to do it. And then we won't put an app.js link in here because we're in the app.js, so that doesn't really make sense. We should be linking to that component from somewhere else. So instead I'll add a different link and try the feedback stats and link it as stats and save and check out what happens now. Yes, okay, that's fine. I didn't pass any props. Oh, I can literally just pass them in here, I guess. So I need this when my component declaration because it's expecting props. I'm no good at routing in React. Clearly. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Oh, look. It's a learning experience, guys, do you know? What more can I say? So if I reload now, no routes match home. Where have I got this? So let's just search in a wrap for just home. So let's go to about and see what's going on there. Okay, so let's go to our about page and check out that link, and let's change this to a React route and see if we can work it out from this page, because then we might have a better idea of what on earth is going on here. So these are making all of our different things. Grand. Then we want to import app and add this route. So I'll just copy this again. I'm going to add it in this paragraph right inside actually. I'm going to save. No, I was hoping that would line things up for me. I want to tab these in. And get rid of these ones because I just want to go to the app. And now I need to import all of these things from React Router DOM. So I'm just going to copy that statement from the top here because it's a long one into our about and see if we can get back to the home page. Oh right, yeah, I didn't import app. So import, and this should really be at the top. It is at the top. So import app from app, save. Does not, browser router is not defined. Let's just go up to the top of these errors here. So browser router is not defined. Tell me why. It looks defined to me. And just let me go back to the documentation and make sure that they just it was just still the same named import. So yeah, browser router routes and route from React Router DOM. Paste. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so just by clicking on them you can make sure that like it's spelled the same way or whatever, because it highlights all the instances of it then, so it's just handy. And let's go to /about and see what happens. You know, likey. You cannot render a router inside another router. You should never have more than one in your app. Okay, so yes, we can only have one of these in our app. So is this like, yes, I can come in and have a look and have a mess around. Grand, this is what I need. So great, let's see. So in our app.js here we have links and outlet. In our data, main. Then in another file have this browser router. Get element by ID app. So this is pulling the app in. Or no. Here. Yes. Okay. So in our main file, in our app.js, we just have links here. So in our app.js, let's just put in links. God, the messing about here is ridiculous. Like, you can tell I just don't know. Look, sorry guys, you just have to have a laugh sometimes. Like, embarrassing, but you know, we're learning. We're learning, and that's the way it goes, you know. I hope no one from work sees this. Oh gosh. No, look, it is what it is. We all have to learn. We all have to start somewhere. Some days you're flying along, other days you're not. And like, I obviously don't know this well enough, clearly. And maybe it's just a day where things aren't really clicking as well, you know. So excuses. No, it's grand, you know. So here we have a link. Let's just link this to about in our app.js and put about here and save. Let's have a look. And now we should only have one router because we only have it in one file. Ah, you're killing me. You are killing me. And then in our other file, we have browser router route. So yeah, let's give this a go and just close these off then and see. So within here, browser router route, browser router route, close off these tags. Okay, and then we do have an app component that's being imported. We don't have other routes, so let's just leave it at that one route for now. And properly just tab these around. So we've done the simplest version we could of the code that was there. And it doesn't like it. Let's check out our terminal. Import browser router is unnecessarily renamed. They're imported but never used. Yeah, so that will be over here, wouldn't it? Yeah. Do we have link imported? Because we have a link in here. No, we do not. Okay. In our app.js we do. And let's just import link. Keep it simple. So we're on the about page. And am I seeing this H1? And I'm not seeing these. That's what it looks like. And what about home? How's home doing? not well. Oh, okay. Oh my god, 45 minutes of just absolute going in circles. That's alright. It's fine. Of course it is. Going in circles is still progress, guys, you know. Because then next time you won't go in so big circles. So that's honestly, I feel like slowing down and being more methodical in my approach would definitely help. But you know, just sitting here thinking, but it's ongoing. I think it's one of my things I should work on myself, because, you know, by just firing in and just changing a load of things, you're introducing errors. I know this. Awareness is the first step to progress. So good. I still haven't made the progress, but I'm aware I need to progress. So good. Yeah, it is good. You just have to see the positives, don't you? I'm still here learning. I'm still sticking in the error. So grand. So what on earth? How am I doing? What? Let's read a tutorial. Let's read a version 6 React Router DOM, like some sort of React Router DOM. Let's just read something about it and see if something clicks. Okay, so this fella's just talking about it, and so is this guy. So let's just see, maybe something will click. In this post I will be giving a complete walkthrough on how to create a React app with the help of React Router DOM. React Router version 6 is mainly used for developing SPA, single page applications. You cannot read what I am reading because it's too small, too small. Okay, check out my React Router 6 article. What is this? What am I looking at? Okay. Sure, look. Oh, I was happy with the first one. Oh, so here he's just creating a new app. Okay, so he created a new app, which is just a React app. You have your folders, you fire it up, cool. Delete all the files, we did that. Get your app.js to look like this. So let's just say, for comparison, which I think this is like, yeah. So we have a whole load of a mess in here. Class name, app default. And then in our index.js, what do we have? Okay, yeah. Okay. So maybe I'll just add a div for the class name app. Don't think that should make any difference, but it definitely shouldn't. Like, that's just styling. But look, in the interests of consistency with this guy, let's just do it. Expected a closing tag. Did you not update for me now? I only do it sometimes. Like that, is it? So now, let's go to /about. What is going on? So here in my app.js. Oh, well, I have this link. Okay. That's what that is. So why is it not clickable? I'm importing link. Okay. Let's just go back to our things we had on the page so we can see our page again. So, okay. And know that everything hasn't gone totally wrong. Oh my god. It just did something. Come on. About. Oh, because I accidentally save. Oh. Okay. So we have our page. Here's our link to about. I'm going to put about link here which is not necessary, but I kept thinking I was somehow on the about page earlier on, so about link is not working. And man, just going there in the all terminology has now escaped my head, in addition to not knowing what I'm doing. No, we'll get there, guys. Do you know, this is the process. It is, though, you know. Not every day can be an absolute win. So, right, what else is this chap going to do? Add React Router DOM. Will we have version 6? So, okay, make sure to CD into the app folder first. Into your app folder? Why is that? Into your project folder. Yeah, into your project folder. Then import React Router DOM and some other components that will be used later. Yes. Now will we create the 3 pages? All 3 will have the same. Page 1, page 2, page 3. Okay. Now import them all into app.js. Okay. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to just create some test pages because all of our ones need props, which is fine, but I just want to keep this simple. So let's create page 1 and page 2 and do underscore or FCE. Cool. Grand. There's page 1 and just say page 1. Then we'll create one more page and just say page 2. Page 2.jsx. Enter. Spelling it wrong. Doing it wrong. That's alright. Cool. So underscore or FCE tab page 2. And yes, I did spell it wrong, but not anymore. So page 2. And save. Now let's go back to our app.js and do what this guy's telling us to do here. So this is our app. We want to import our pages, and then we want to router routes router. So if I copy this, just so we know the flow that these should be in, we want, so we have a div with a container. That seems fine, because here he just has a div with class name app, so you can have divs inside outside here, but the router routes should only contain route then. So these should all be nested. So let's do that. Let's nest them all here. Why not? Oh yes, I didn't close it yet, so now I'll tab these in and close this off and save and check my imports. So routes, frig, routes, route, cool. Okay. Router, routes, router. So we need router as well. Then I need to import my page 1 and page 2. So page 1 and page 2. Save. Let's see. So in our app.js now, oh yes, save. Page 3. Did what is going on? Oh yeah, sorry, of course. Yeah, I did not See, the slowing down, you know, taking it slow. What are you doing? Look, think about it. Don't just be so eager, because that's how you make mistakes. But anyway, so this doesn't like this still. Page 1, page 2. Let's get rid of the home page for the moment, because all the other routes should exist, whereas it's having a problem reading one of them, and the home page that was just sending back out a paragraph tag, sorry. That one could have been adding to the problem, I don't know. So this is just gone fab, isn't it? Check the random method of feedback list. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, so I have a key. Property. And it should be the item.id. Now I don't think that's the problem right now, because, do you know, other errors, we're after introducing errors from our improper use of the router and browser router and React router DOM, and then that could, like, do you know, these errors weren't here before, so am I sure that they're legit? I don't know, maybe I'm knocking something else over here, you know, and it's causing a domino effect. And let's just get rid of this for a minute, because we know we're only supposed to have one browser router and routes, or routes at least, or something like that. So what's going on? Cannot read, undefined. The path name. So let's search let's search this error and see what this says. When testing components with links, for example, recommended approach for routes, base tests within routes of React Router. Well, the history is now outdated. I think we use location after upgrading to version 6. Yeah. This use case isn't covered in the migration docs. History prop is no longer expected. Yeah. I think it should be use navigator, but yeah. Does it say that? Yeah, use navigate. Yeah, cool. Yes, and understandable how he made that mistake, really, because, you know, just until you get used to it and then you realise, well, it's not use navigator, it's there. He has navigator. Is he using navigator somewhere? Anyway, React Router version 6 splits apart the history into multiple pieces. Yeah, so I could see he had that wrong, but what else does he have wrong? Do you know what, guys? Today isn't going so well. Well, not that it's not going well. Look, guys, there's going to be days where, you know, you get stuck, where you're not sure. This is definitely something I'm going to have to put more effort and time into, React Router, because I feel like even in other courses, this has confused me. Maybe I'll go back to Max's course, I was going to say, and just do his routing section, because he always keeps his courses updated, you know, with the most recent material. So this should be 2022. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm just doing something wrong, you know. Maybe I need to start this course again. So for the time being, I've done an hour. It's not, you know, sometimes when there's no point in hammering through this, like a good night's sleep and just like a break will probably solve my issue. So, and I'll probably just actually, I don't know when I last committed, but like just getting rid of all those changes might be a bad idea, and just starting with a fresh and more of a sequential approach, a logical approach. So that's it for today, guys. We didn't really get anywhere, but I appreciate you so much coming and taking a look and having a look at how I was troubleshooting the issue, and hearing some of the things that I think I could have been doing better whilst troubleshooting the issue as well, and things that I'll take into tomorrow's video, and hopefully we'll solve this problem together tomorrow. So thanks a million for joining me, guys. Have an absolutely wonderful evening and whole rest of your week, and as always, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.